Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Marie's Bundesliga Minutes for the transfer exchange. And although we have Bundesliga in the name of the show, this week the Bundesliga rests. We are on the international break, so we're going to take that opportunity to look at what the German national team is up to. And the German national team gathered last week. Joachim made some interesting choices in his roster, as we talked about before, in his squad. He did not nominate Julian Draxler and Julian Brandt for the first time in a long time. They're both kind of known as darlings of Joachim Löw, especially Draxler, who has not always performed for Paris Saint-Germain. He's kind of like a reserve, maybe their 13th or 14th player, usually comes on around the 60th minute, but he always performed and played for Germany. And he's been left out of the squad, and as has Julian Brandt, who's had a kind of weak season after a decent start at Dortmund last season. And instead of those two veterans, although they're both still decently young, I think Brandt is 24 and Draxler is 27, instead of those veterans of the German national team, Löw brought two youngsters. Florian Wirtz, the Leverkusen heir apparent to Kai Havertz, who plays in central midfield, attacking midfield, and he's 17. He's been the sensation of this Bundesliga season as far as youngsters are concerned. And Jamal Musiala, the first 18-year-old in a long time to make the jump from Bayern's academy to the first team. And of course, as we know, Jamal Musiala grew up in Germany and England, and he played for England's youth teams, national teams, and then recently decided to play for Germany at the senior level. Musiala did actually come on in Germany's 3-0 win against Iceland, and he came on for the last 10 minutes or so and got his debut. And Wirtz is expected to make his debut tomorrow night. And the main thing to learn from this game was what a midfield pairing Kimmich and Goretzka are. We've seen that at Bayern Munich in their Champions League winning season last year, but to see it like this on that stage with Gundogan ahead of them, Kroos of course was out, which maybe worked in Löw's favour because he didn't have to leave one of those four guys on the bench. But Kimmich and Goretzka are perhaps the most dominant midfield tandem that Germany has had since Schweinsteiger and Khedira. And of course, as we know, that tandem helped Germany win the World Cup. And Kimmich and Goretzka are both 25 years of age, and they're a part of that 1995 generation I talked about in episode 5. Very promising generation in German football. It also includes Niklas Süle, Serge Gnabry, Sané is 96, but it's like Timo Werner, of course, as well. So this is likely to be the kind of skeleton that holds the body of the German national team for years to come. And so good things happening in the sporting sense. In the emotional, political sense, you may have seen that there was some uproar around something that happened before kickoff, and that's because the Germany players, as they sung the national hymn, over their black jerseys, gorgeous jerseys by the way, new jerseys just released for the World Cup, beautiful. Over their black away jerseys, they wore a black t-shirt, each with a letter, and it spelled out human rights. And this, the players have made clear after the game, is something that the players thought of themselves. They wanted to take a stance against human rights abuses in Qatar, the host nation of the next World Cup, where thousands of people are said to have died constructing stadiums for the Football World Cup. Of course, as we know, the surrounding facts about how Qatar even was awarded the World Cup by FIFA are very iffy. And so lots of human rights abuse, of course, terrible record on women's rights and gay rights as well. And it seems like the young players, by the way, copying what Norway did the night before, wanted to make a stance. And it sort of backfired because, of course, the German Federation, of which the team is the main representation, has not made a stance. And Bayern Munich, which, 5 of the players that started in the starting 11 were from Bayern Munich. Every match day they wear the Qatar Airways on their sleeve. They recently did this hilariously terrible music video, kind of like music video for Qatar Airways, which was Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone. And they were all singing different verses of it, like Alphonso Davies, Kimmich, Gnabry, and it was supposed to be like, oh, we miss the fans and we miss having you fly with us or whatever. Terrible. But how can you do that and then also go to pre-season, you know, go to the Emirates for pre-season camps, talk about how great it is there, and then stand there and be like, oh, we support, you know, human rights. Like, it's just, I think it left a bit of a sour aftertaste in my mouth. Kimmich and Löw have since defended that action. They've said, you know, this was not some marketing gag, this is something the young players thought of themselves, this is a position they wanted to take. And Löw said, not everything the national team does is bad, you know, like, give us a break. You know, we know we messed up the last World Cup in 2018, but not everything we do is bad. And it helped that they played well, they scored 3 goals, you know, it was a good day, and so that's what happened. And I'm actually going to leave it at that. So we focused on the German national team and what that has in store. The German under-21 team, incidentally, is performing very well, and some interesting players making their way there, especially Schulte-Bockum, who I've spoken to before, the left back of VfL Wolfsburg, who Bayern Munich is already rumored to be interested in. He's 22 years old, he was at Mainz before as a central midfielder, very intelligent player, very fast, dynamic, skillful, has everything to be a modern fullback in the game. And of course they have some other promising players as well, so good to see that the under-21s are doing well, and who knows, maybe some of them will jump onto the boat in time for the Euros squad. That's it from me today. As always, my name is Marie. You can follow me on Twitter at Marie Schubo, that's MarieSchubo, and give this video a thumbs up or a comment if you wish. Alright, bye!